So the app I chose is Wonderscope. Wonderscope is an augmented reality educational game that does interactive stories to kids and families. So, and what is augmented reality? Augmented reality is essentially an kind of like an AI character that is on your phone and can be in your room with your camera on, but isn't actually there. So, for example, we can see on the phone that I've got on the picture here, and you've got this little pink, character, walking around that little fence. That is showing there through the phone, but if you don't look at the phone, then that character's actually not there. So, the overview of Wonderscope is that it has interactive stories. So, what it does is that these characters will be walking around telling stories about educational value to these kids, which has diverse storylines. So they could be talking about history, art, educating about, who was the first person on the moon, examples like that. Has voice recognition, so if, a child said, replay the story or stop or turn the volume up, the character will listen and can control that. And there are parental controls too. So, for example, if the parents do not want the kids to, be, talking to the character, they can disable it. If they don't want them learning about maths, they can disable it. So they can only learn what the parental are controlling. Compatibility. It's with the standard iOS, so it uses a camera, which is the main reason why it's on iOS, iPhones, iPad, iPod, iOS 14 or later. Can be compatible with the computer. You just got to add plugins that make it compatible with the certain computer. Android. It's not on Android. Why is Wonderscope not on Android? So we look at Android. Android has a couple of different companies. You've got Samsung, Oppo, OnePlus as examples. Every single phone has a different camera specification. And Wonderscope, because it's such a high dimensional rendering process to its characters, some Android phones might not be compatible. And you look at Android, and Android has over 13,000 different phones. So Wonderscope, I don't think, is made the right decision. I think Wonderscopes are prioritizing platforms where the required hardware specification are constantly met, and that goes to Apple. Apple, all you need is iOS 14 and above, because Apple, you only need to look at iPhone 7, 8, 9, 10. Example, you have to look at less phones than what you have to do if you look at Android. It's about 10 compared to 13,000. Storage of Wonderscope, it's 1.1 gigabytes. It's free and has 430,000 downloads. Classroom use. Teachers can integrate Wonderscope AI into their lessons to enhance learning experiences in various subjects such as art, science, history, and more. They can use the interactive stories as a tool for storytelling sessions, encouraging students' engagement and participation. Teachers can also assign collaborative projects where students can work together, fostering and creating a teamwork environment in the classroom. And it can facilitate interactive discussions and activities related to the themes and lessons of the story. Personal use. Families can bond over shared storytelling using the app as a source of entertainment and learning. After a long day, after Sunday arvo, you're in the living room and you all want to get together. You can all get together and tell the interactive story to the kids through the iPad, and it's a good educational value for them as well because it promotes language development, critical thinking, and social emotional learning. And the engagement is there as well. It captivates children's attention by combining storytellings with interactive elements, fostering any engagement and motivational drive for learning. And you got the benefits here. It's creative. It's creative. Never see something like this where you can interact with virtual characters and objects. You can use it in groups. You could all get a bunch of people and watch it together. Accessibility. All you gotta do is get out your phone, download a free app, and it's on your phone within minutes. And if you don't like it, delete it. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything, and it's an educational value. Obviously, promotes language development, and it speaks about the target audience because the parental guidance is involved. So, introducing Wonderscope and augmented reality to iOS apps for kids. This is an example, a run through of how it works. So, as you can tell, you can see here from this video, the child is interacting with the characters while being in a room, but the characters aren't actually there. And obviously the parents get involved. They can have group engagements, and as you can see, he's creating a whole you know pirate ship in the living room when they're not actually there. And that here is Wonderscope for Story Explorers Augmented Reality.